What is going on, guys and girls, of course? Welcome back to a brand new Game of Thrones series on my channel. Now, I checked, it's been a very long time. It's been 7 months since the last time I uploaded a Game of Thrones series on this channel. And it's also the last time since I really played the mod. Except for when I loaded up the game to include some of the custom characters that we're going to talk about a little bit later today. But yeah, other than that, I haven't really played the mod, so I'm very excited to get this series started. This is not technically a new series, and it's more like a second attempt of my last series as Rhaegar. One major difference today is that I'm not starting off as Rhaegar. Instead, I will start off as the Mad King Aerys himself, because that will give us better chances at winning the initial war. Of course, for those of you who don't know, or even for those of you who might know, just a quick reminder, we're currently in Robert's rebellion. So just a quick rundown. Obviously, we've got our son and heir, Prince Rhaegar, the Prince of Dragonstone. He has abducted Lyanna Stark, daughter of the Lord Paramount of the North, and then her brother, Brandon Stark, demanded that she'll be released or whatever. And yeah, one thing led to another. Our son wasn't there. We imprisoned Rickard and Brandon, killed the Starks, and demanded the heads of Robert Baratheon as well as Ned Stark as well. And Jon Arryn did not like this, and now we're at war with the Vale, the North, the Stormlands, and due to some alliances, the Riverlands as well. That's actually already more detailed than I wanted to go, but I think you guys get an idea. I'll leave a link to my first attempt of this series. It's only 2 episodes long, so it's not really a very huge series, but definitely go ahead and check that out, because I set the scene a little bit better in the beginning. I read out some of the really nice texts that the creators of the mod have provided for the start date, so definitely go ahead and check that out, because I think that gets you more in the mood, but I didn't want to do it a second time. Now, yeah, as I said, this is technically our second attempt. Basically, what I will do is I'll play as Aerys, we're going to try and win the war, and once we have, I will switch over to Rhaegar, and we're going to try and overthrow our father, rebel against him, call a great council. I don't know what we're necessarily going to do. I'm going to have to check my options then. But for now, as I said, first things first, win the war with Rhaegar alive. Obviously, that's kind of, that's kind of the whole point, right? If he dies, then we can't really overthrow anyone. So that is something I'm going to have to look out for. And what that means is I'm not going to show you the entire war. I'm only going to show you maybe highlights, because there's a huge possibility I'm going to have to do this several times. So, yeah, I will basically show you a few highlights, a few battles, and a few duels, maybe, and then I will cut back to the end where we have actually won. Now, before we actually get started and get into that, I would like to introduce 3 custom characters that have been created by my supporters over on Patreon, and they have created some very interesting background stories for them, and I will leave links to that in the description as well, and I might even have a pinned comment where I'll leave links to their stories as well. Definitely go ahead and check them out. I'll mention this again, but I'll mention it right at the beginning as well, because they're very well written, and I, especially with one, the first Aaron Drift that we're going to talk about first here, the story isn't finished yet. It's just the first part, but it has huge potential, and I think if you guys are being a little bit encouraging there, I think that Day Sniper will be more interested in continuing his writing, which I would find very, very nice. And yeah, let's actually get started. As I said, Aaron Drift is the first one that we're going to talk about. He is... Now, I wrote down that he's a bastard of the House Velaryon. Now that I check out the character, he's not actually listed as a bastard, so I'm not entirely sure here, but either way, he is associated or affiliated with the House Velaryon, but he's not actually of the House Velaryon himself, because he has taken... he's his own house, House Drift, Aaron Drift, and obviously he has his own sigil. Of course, you can see the resemblance, or you can see the similarities to House Velaryon. It's still a little bit different, though. Yeah, let's just quickly talk about his stats. He is a skilled commander and an attractive man, but he does have a scar. Skilled fighter, strategist, very brave, but also a bit paranoid. He's an organizer and a trickster, so someone who's very, very skilled in the battlefield. He does have a claim on Driftmark as well, which is due to his heritage here. Let's actually quickly check out his family tree here, or rather House Valerion. You can see he is a descendant of Baela Valerion, and then over various generations, House Drift has eventually been established. I definitely have to check if he's a bastard or not. I'm actually not that certain, but I might fix that before the end of this war. Now, as I said, he definitely go ahead and check out the story that Daysniper has written, because that is just really, really a nice read, and it explains the, I guess, difficult relation between Aaron Drift and the current Lord of Driftmark, Lucerys Valerion, in much more detail. But just a quick rundown: he was sent to King's Landing with his friend, or well, not then friend, but now friend, Rennifer Longwaters, and he was basically just sent away from Driftmark because Lucerys does not want him to inherit or, press his claim or whatever. So he grew up at court, and there he met Rhaegar. Later on, he was actually trained by his idol Barristan Selmy, and he traveled through the Crown Lands. Eventually, he became a commander of the royal army, and obviously there were no large-scale wars, so he wasn't really involved in much, but eventually he actually was captured by the Kingswood Brotherhood. He managed to escape and helped the Kingsguard in fighting and destroying the Brotherhood, but this is where he actually caught his scar, or his wound that then turned into a scar. And last thing he did really was he attended the tourney at Harrenhal and watched the Stark's execution in the throne room, and now he's just kind of hanging around at King's Landing getting ready for war, and of course he'll be leading some of our armies, and perhaps he's also going to fight someone in personal combat. I guess we'll see once the war actually heats up. Now, the second character I would like to introduce is Vorian of the House Dayne. So you might think, okay, House Dayne, that's not really a custom house. It is not, but this particular character is new. Lord Ulrich II technically only had 2 sons. He had Aron Dayne, who then inherited his lordship, and also there's obviously Sir Arthur Dayne, the legendary Sword of the Morning and member of the Kingsguard. And now, in this particular scenario, we have a 3rd son, Vorian Dayne, a little bit younger than Ashara even, and he already has a wife, Elia. He's got a son and a daughter, and he is also in King's Landing, also has a martial education, very capable man as well, duelist, a skilled fighter, also attractive, of course. He's a knight, a brave man, proud, wrath, a bit cynical, and he is taking a direct approach when leading armies. He always looked up to his older brother, Arthur Dayne, the Sword of the Morning. He is a skilled swordsman, but very quick to anger, something that he's trying to work on. He was knighted at the very young age of 16 by his brother Arthur, and as I said, he's already married, has 2 children, and now with Arthur vanished, for those of you who know, of course, he's currently at the Tower of Joy guarding Lyanna Stark. Now that Arthur has vanished, Vorian has asked his father if he could represent the Danish forces in the field of battle, and his father agreed, and so he will be one of our commanders as well, just like Aaron Drift. Now the third one, the third character, Jorah Lynx, has been created by Overgy, and the House Lynx is a fairly new house. Let's have a quick look here. The founder was Edmure, I guess, technically, although that's just a random name. And they have a Shadowcat as their sigil. Now, basically what happened, they have a similar story to the Cleganes, as in that they rose to nobility after the founder, Edmure here, saved Lord Darklyn from a ferocious Shadowcat. And so he took the beast, he tamed the beast, took the beast as his sigil, and even, sort of like the Starks and the Direwolves, he has this one shadow cat following around, and the pups, or the kittens, or however you want to call that, the children, the offspring of this shadow cat, actually have a connection, continued connection to the family. So his son Kenric also had a shadow cat, and now the current character Jorah Lynx also has a shadow cat that's following him around. Jorah was a negotiator, so obviously they have a strong connection, the Lynxes have a strong connection to the Darklands of Duskendale that of course no longer exist, but during the time of the Defiance of Duskendale, Jorah was a negotiator, but as you all know, negotiations didn't really go all that far. Jorah, however, did help Barristan Selmy on his mission to free Aerys from captivity, and received a place at court for his help. Jorah didn't really do all that much. He was simply hanging around at court until the time where Rickard and Brandon were executed. Now, as all of the people in the throne room, he didn't really do anything. He just stood there silently and watched as the two nobles were executed. And afterwards, he was actually sent personally by Aerys to deliver the ultimatum to Jon Arryn. Of course, ravens could have been sent as well, but such an important document Aerys wanted to send in person. So he sent Jorah, and perhaps he sent him on a suicide mission. I don't really know. Who knows what the Mad King really wanted, but he sent him out there. And of course, upon arrival at the Eyrie, he was immediately imprisoned by Jon Arryn. However, he managed to escape and made his way to Goldtown, and there he actually convinced the Lord Mark Grafton to stay loyal to the Targaryens. So Mark Grafton has raised his banners in defiance, in support of the crown, but in defiance to his Lord Arryn, and he's the only Vale Lord that opposes Jon Arryn right now. Hopefully that his sacrifice will not be for naught. We'll have to see, but this gave us the time to prepare, because Jorah then made his way back to King's Landing and informed the king of the war. Now, those are the three custom characters that I wanted to introduce to you. I think they have some very, very great stories, and they are certainly going to have some interesting events and some interesting paths during this series. If you want to have your own character in one of my series, definitely go ahead and check out my Patreon page, and maybe if you decide to become a supporter there, you can have your own character. I would obviously appreciate it quite a lot. Now, with all that out of the way, I think we're going to get started. I will set up my council, I will set up my armies, I will do a little bit of fighting, and once we have won, I'll be back as Rhaegar. I've set up my counselors. I made Rossard my Hand of the King. I don't think this is fully accurate. I think the first Hand of the King was actually Carlton Chelstead, but he was our master of coin here, so I just left it there and made Rossard the Hand of the King immediately. It's fine, I think. I also set up obviously our minor titles, our commanders especially, and now I actually want to go ahead and make some wildfire. I'm not sure how. Okay. This is apparently just a new event. Okay, you pay a visit to the Alchemist Guild in King's Landing and commission Wisdom Gendry, okay, to provide you with more wildfire. We always welcome your patronage, your grace. He says, it shall take us some time, but we shall supply you with as much of the substance as we can. Okay, very good. So we lose 100 gold, and we now have making wildfire. Awesome. Now, I believe that, the Alchemist Guild is now actually a society here. Not sure what it really does. We can donate to the guild, support the alchemist, okay, by generous donation. We can hire an alchemist, and we can make wildfire. Okay, and as we rank up, we're currently a patron, then we can become an acolyte. Discount on lower ranked decisions, can travel to learn from a wisdom. Okay, I don't think we're really going to do all of this, but yeah, maybe. I mean, we're not going to really survive long enough to to make use of this, I think. But it's really interesting. I like that this has actually been implemented. It's the only society that actually exists, or the only one that we can see. But I like that. A lot of fun. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna raise our men now. We don't really have all that many, but how many? 13,000. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. We can work with that. Let's of course get our ships raised as well, and then we're gonna see what the rebels will do. So a few more events have popped up now that actually went forward. For now, we are now the blood of old Valyria. Very nice. I think this is giving us what? We're now respected. We have, oh, our fear. Yes, okay, our vassals respect us. I think this should be a little bit higher. I think our vassals should actually hate our guts. But, yeah, whatever. We are an abomination of incest and the blood of Valyria. Unfortunately, the revolt is already in progress, so this modifier doesn't really help us much. And the second event here, of course, I've gone for the intrigue focus, and we are spying on our son, Rhaegar. I don't actually want to do anything with it, because, of course, I want him to stay alive, but I kind of want to see if the AI has anything, has any plans themselves. That would be really interesting. So the first casualty of this war is Jon Connington. He's been slain in personal combat by Robert Baratheon. Very interesting. He somehow teleported from the Vale of Arryn to Storm's End, raised his banners, and yeah, he already smashed Griffin's Roost. Now I don't know where he's gonna go next, but we're still assembling our army. We have some other battles going on as well, and I have a little bit of a monetary situation right now, so I have not yet raised my personal levy. Hopefully that will allow us to yeah, save a little bit of cash. We can still go for loan with the Iron Bank, and that should hopefully give us a little bit of an edge over our enemies, because they're going to run out of money as well. So this could potentially give us a bonus. We'll have to see. We still haven't amassed our forces properly, and already our sister wife Rhaegar has died. Of course, we're just gonna have a small private funeral. We're not really concerned with her all that much. She can't even give us any real children, right? So yeah, whatever. I don't care. So the royal host, led by Prince Rhaeger, has engaged the Tully forces under Brynden, and we'll see if the Blackfish is going to end this campaign here and kill Rhaegar, or if we're actually going to be able to continue. It's going to be interesting to see. Okay, Edgerton. So Willem and Lord Hoster met as enemies in a duel. Hoster Tully has been defeated by Willem Darry, our master at arms. Very nice. I had Willem Darry obviously lead a flank in one of our armies here, but he was replaced by Lord Lucas Fell. It doesn't really matter. That is amazing. Hoster Tully is in prison. Now that is great, because this puts the Riverlands out of the war. I think it should anyways, but I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure and certain if it does. The Blackfish is obviously giving us a lot of issues here. We'll let him rot. In fact, you know what? Oubliette's probably best. It's not the smartest, but it's probably the best. Okay, now I'm a little bit concerned if we cannot break their flanks, which we don't seem to be able to do. Okay, we broke their sender. Brynden Tully was killed in personal combat by one of our custom characters. He was killed by Vorian Dayne. Wow. Wow. What an amazing fighter. Very, very good. And for some reason, why is Ashara the Lady of the Elbow? I don't know. Okay, but that is interesting. Vorian Dayne killed Brynden Tully. Okay, so we have a lot of casualties already. Very nice. Okay, let's see how this continues, but that obviously makes it much easier here. And we should now win relatively easily. Okay, so we've got Hoster Tully imprisoned and Brynden Tully killed. I think the Tullys are done. They should not really... yeah, they should not be here anymore. We lost 900 men. For every Targaryen killed, we killed 10 fish. That is actually pretty exceptional. Okay, now I'm going to try and see what I can do about the Vale Force that have also invaded Dragonstone. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. And of course, we still have a Robert rampaging through the Stormlands. So I'll have to see what we do there. But that is already a very, very great victory. We managed to catch one part of the Vale army here. They luckily split into 2 larger groups, and here we have Jon Arryn. If we manage to kill or capture him here as well, just like we did with Hoster Tully, that would be incredible. We already broke their center with Nestor Royce leading, so I think we're in a really good shape. This could work, but they're already retreating. I think we're not going to see much of a fight here. Yeah, probably not. Okay, still very successful battle, and now we can clean up and destroy their other army, and that will actually give us some breathing room even if the Starks arrive. So while we are chasing this second part of the Vale army, we have actually news from the throne room. Whilst hearing petitions in the Red Keep, a furious rage took hold of me. Amidst my anger and loud shouting, I accidentally cut myself on the Iron Throne. So there is actually a 1% chance that we die right here, which, would be very interesting. I hope that doesn't happen, but chances are, even if we get wounded or maimed, and wow, we're actually wounded, there's a chance that we die, and then we're obviously immediately going to be playing as Rhaegar, which makes this entire series once again very, very different from what I wanted it to be. But still, I mean, in that case, I guess we could continue. We'll have to see how that turns out. But for now, let's see how this battle goes. 18,000 against 15,000. It should go very well. Nestor Royce leading once again, and Valar, but it seems Jon Arryn has retreated. It's probably a smart move. Troubling news. Our acquaintance, Nestor Royce, was killed in personal combat by Aaron Drift. Now, that's interesting. Wait, troubling news. Sir Willem Derry was captured. He was bastarded by Sir Alaric of Harbottle. That is a setback indeed. Sir Willem Derry captured. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But at least Nestor Royce was killed by Aaron Drift. So good job, and wow, nice armor. This looks dope. Okay, so wait, hold on. Wasn't it Willem Derry that took Hoster Tully captive? We need to get him back. We need to get him back. But I don't know, where are you imprisoned? Alaric of Harbottle, where is that? That's here. Okay, you know what? Who we're gonna send? We are going to send our Master of Whisperers there. Varys, build a spy network here. I want to get Willem Derry back, honestly. Although, I guess, does Aerys care that much? I don't know. We're gonna try and do it anyways, but that is quite a setback. Regardless, the battle is won. I'm pretty certain there. Yep, very good. Who's leading now? Jonathan Derry is now leading, of course. Of course he is. And maybe... oh, wow, there's 2 people that were killed. Valar of Stonekeep was killed as well by Sir Aerion, some random Stormlander. Okay. And my snoops overheard Prince Rhaegar as he told shocking lies about his rightful liege. Now, you know what? I don't think we can do this right now. We will threaten Rhaegar that we kill his children or whatever. I don't know. Do we keep this information to ourselves? No. We'll threaten our son and we'll see what he does. I might just want to have him... I might just want to see Dragonstone sacked, although this is where Eddard Stark is. Maybe we want to attack here. I really enjoyed that the AI knows exactly what I want to do with this series, and that Rhaegar just laughs at our evidence, flatly refusing to stop meddling in political factionalism. He will live to regret this. Yes, very much so, but we'll see how that goes. Now, right now, after we have defeated the Vale army, I'm moving against the man himself, Robert Baratheon. Hopefully we're going to capture him and end this war. We'll have to see. I also did take a loan because, yeah, we're really running out of money here very, very quickly. Gerald Hightower died of old age, and so we have to appoint a new Lord Commander of the Kingsguard, and of course, we're going to pick the man who rescued us from the darkness of Duskendale. Lord Commander Barristan Selmy, step forward. There you go. Awesome. So, Barristan, you should actually now be made... it should be possible to make Barristan a commander, because we lost Willem Derry, and so I had to appoint a new commander, and... that should be Barristan sell me if I can find him. And of course, a new Kingsguard as well. Let me see who we have available here. Miles Mutin, Aaron Drift, Richard Lonmoth. Okay, I'm gonna go with Miles Mutin because I'm pretty certain Aaron Drift has other plans. He doesn't want to become a Kingsguard. Very nice. Unfortunately, Hostatoli died while in our dungeons, and now Edmutoli took over. And instead of, you know, saving his family, or what is left of it, because that's not really a whole lot, he decides to continue, and we're now still at war with the Tullys. But he seems to... Oh, he's actually imprisoned by our son, Rhaegar. Now that's interesting. Can I demand important prisoners? Yes. Robin Rhaegar. Okay, let's give me these important prisoners. Because, yeah, at least we have control over them. I wish we could force them out of the war, but apparently that's not possible. The Battle of the Wentwater has commenced. We can see our great commanders, Barristan the Bold, Lord Commander of the Kingsguard, Rhaegar Targaryen, Crown Prince, and then we have Lord Lucifer of the Whispers, who we just kind of dislike. I hope he will die in this very battle. And of course, we're opposing Richard Horpe, Robert Baratheon, and his brother, Lord Stannis. Hopefully, both of these men will be cut down or captured, but we'll have to see how that goes. Apparently, Raymond of Maidenpool was killed. Raymond Mutin was killed in combat by Robert Baratheon. That is very unfortunate, but we don't seem to have any other fights going on here. No. Tywin Lannister is still not joining in. And Guildform... the Alchemist Guildform says we have produced more wildfire. Perfect. Very good. I don't think we need it just now, but it's good. It's good to know. There we have it. Okay, we slew another 8,000, but unfortunately, it seems as if Robert Baratheon escaped. He's still in the Wentwater. Okay, yeah, he somehow managed to retreat. So now what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to move back and fight the Starks that are approaching King's Landing. The Starks have started besieging King's Landing, but we have now arrived to liberate our city. And I gotta be honest, it is just me fighting. What are our allies doing? It's incredible. For a while now, the Reach and Dawn have been utterly useless, sieging away here at Nightsong, not actually contributing to the war. And this is rather problematic because we kind of need their help. Yeah, look at this. I mean, apparently something the Reach must have done, maybe early on. But yeah, recently they haven't really done much, and these 9,000 men could help us a lot in this fight here. But either way, we're going to continue here for now. We'll see what happens. We are crushing through them very quickly. And Ethan Glover was slain by Vorian Dayne in personal combat. Okay, yeah, he's a killing machine. I already see. That is rather impressive. Anyways, we've cut through them, liberated our great capital, and we've improved relations with the High Septon. That's nice to know. There's actually 2 people that were killed. Some master was slain by Barristan, but that was not even important at all. Alright, so we're at 22% war score. I mean, we can now go ahead and... You know what I think my plan is? I'm going to destroy these smaller armies. We're going to re-siege some of this, and then we might have to retake Dragonstone. But apparently, I'm not able to do this all in this first episode. I actually ended up showing you a lot more of the war than I had expected. But that's the way it is. I think what I will do is I will end the episode here, and we'll be back next time, hopefully, able to finish this war. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys then.